Hello, and welcome to a new series we're doing on the channel now. Chihayafuru. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And I did do a little poll on the channel. I didn't want to watch this just because it won the poll. All the shows on the poll was something I was interested in regardless to watch anyway. And Chihayafuru seems like the one out of all of them, regardless of whether it won. That I think is most up my alley, it seems. I don't know too much about it though. Despite that, I know like two things essentially. One is that it's about a card game thing with like poems. Is it karata? I don't know. I might be completely wrong there, but I know it's about some game I don't know anything about apart from that they use like poems or like phrases to play the game. And two is that there's a love triangle in it, and I don't often see people talk about that in a negative way. I'm not bothered with love triangle at all. That's not a problem for me. Obviously, if any sort of trope is done well, then sure, that's great. But that's basically all I know about the show. I think the manga's finished, maybe, and I'm not sure if season 3 covers the full manga either. I'm not too sure, but yeah, we'll get into this. I'm not too sure how this is going to be formatted because I don't know how it's going to be copyright wise. We have been lucky with the last 3 shows on the channel, Alien Stage, Avin Mujika, and the Summer Hikaru Died. They have all been very easy copyright wise, so hopefully this one's fine as well. Otherwise, it might have a lot of choppy editing. It might not. It might have some censoring. I'm not sure. You're about to see it now anyway, so you're going to know. It's going to be hard for me at the start to know exactly what I'm dealing with copyright wise, but it should be alright. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. And yeah, hopefully I'd like to do one or two. I like to do 2 or 3 episodes per video of this. If I did 1 episode per video, we'd be uploading like 72 separate videos on this, and I don't really fancy doing that. I'd rather have it a bit more condensed somewhat, and I just want to watch more than 1 episode in a sitting anyway. I can't really guarantee any sort of regular release schedule for this. Ideally, I'd like to get at least an episode up a week. Obviously a 1 or 2 episodes would be nice a week, but with work and everything, I don't want to, when I come home from work or whatever, like when I finish work, or even on my days off, if I'm not in the mood to record or I don't have the energy to, I'm not going to. I don't want to force myself to watch a show or force myself to watch it on camera, because that's just not gonna. It's not gonna help anyone. It's not gonna. It's not gonna be enjoyable for you. I'm already a pretty like low energy sort of monotone person anyway. That doesn't really bring too much dynamism to the camera. But if I'm like tired as well, then that would amplify it even more, and it just wouldn't be a very fun viewing experience. And I wouldn't be able to analyze it wholeheartedly either. I wouldn't be able to engage with it properly if I wasn't in the mood to do so. So yeah, I can't promise a strict kind of release schedule for this. I'm just gonna watch it whenever I feel like it and upload it whenever I feel like it. So hopefully, I am somewhat consistent with it. And yeah, start of a new series, a long one. Let's just get into it. Episode 1 of Chihayafuru. Make sure this is season 1. Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's go.
何わずに昨夜この花冬ごもり今を春べと昨夜この花
Let's transition there.
聞いたか新入生の中にモデルの綾瀬千
And
歳
just when
の
we got
妹
the
がいるって
Japanese for those lines as well.
それって超可愛いってことああマジ見に行こうぜ
So our main character is the sister of a model.
でも昼休みは毎日ロビーにいるらしいぜなんだ綾瀬千早競技
Karuta. I was almost right.
「 12345。
なんだ
ジャージ
てか何あのベルト。
綾瀬さん、あなたはまたそんな格好で走ったな。
Already defying
だ
a
って先生
stereotype.
がスカートじゃダメだって。
ジャージならジャージだけになさい。それからそのチラシも貼るのは1枚だけですよ。こんなとこで脱がない。あなた
そういえば噂だとせっかく綺麗なのに動いたり話したりしたら台無しっていう無駄美人だって。
Ruin a conversation. Opening.
帰り道は過ぎてゆく、少し風が吹いている、たわいない会話妙に楽しくて、今でも変わらない僕ら待ち合わせた
This is a pleasant song.
君はまだ覚えてるのかな。
It's very 2010s visually. It's a really nice song actually. Decent opening. This flower has bloomed at last. Episodes are poems, nice.
誰も来ないな。
ちーちゃん、カルタなんて諦めてまた一緒に陸上やろうよ。短距離で市大会まで行ったのにもったいないよ。
カルタって犬も歩けばってやつ？
違うよ。ああ、私にとって陸上部は出会い系っていうか。
出会い系？
I like her voice, it's
何
not
やそれ。
what I was
そろそろ
expecting.
部活行こう。また先輩に怒られちゃう。
それじゃあね、ちーちゃん。ちょっと待って。ほら早く。ごめんね。ねえ、あの先輩さ、すっごい怖いよね。
Seems like she feels a bit out of place.
仲間がいて。高校でこそ仲間を作ってカルタに 100% になるって決めたのに。
じゃあ綾瀬さんはクイーンやの？
カルタが本当に楽しかったのは。
そんな大の字で寝てっから無駄美人なんて言われんだぞ。ちはや。
Is this our first
びっくりした。
boy in the
同じ
triangle?
高校にいるなん
And
て。
everyone
てっきり
is the guy in the glasses,
エスカレーターで
maybe.
いいとこの高等部に行ってんのかと思ってた。
She's cheered right up with him.
あと3年も行けっかよ。つうか痛えし。それよか千早が都立のいいとこ受かってる方が意外だって。
Well, he definitely likes her, so
背伸びたね。
なんかあんま差ついてねえじゃん。なめんなよ。
俺はまだ伸びるからな。
私もまだ伸びそ
お
う。
前はもういいよ。
太一。
なんだよ。
childhood friend. Nice.
太一太一太一。
だからなんだよ。千早、お前モテねえだろ。
So wait, she would be popular if she was like that, to be honest.
千早。あのさ、
Chihaya and Taichi.
ちょっとごめん。はい、俺。今駅だよ。うん、まだ来ないね。
Sounds a bit like Mamoru
Bubai-dara de
Miyano. Like a softer version of him. Maybe it is him, I'm not too sure.
彼女？太一彼女いんの？
いちゃ悪いかよ。
そっか。
Oh, he already has one. Interesting.
何？ちょっとショック？
Is she disappointed?
いや別に告られたから付き合ってるだけで
I'll just say a
そ
kind
んな
of
好きじゃないんだけど
a more casual
もし
thing.
かして新たにもカルタより大事なもので
Now it is
きたの
probably
か
the
な。
the blue-eyed boy with the glasses.
だよそれ。
太一？
Hmm.
新とは連絡取ってんのか？
ううん。今年は年賀状も来なかった。新た、去年の全国大会にも出てなかったみたい。
Hmm.
私も中学は陸上部で近江神宮の全国大会なんか行ったことないけど。
いいんじゃない？陸上部。
え？
俺だって高校じゃ別のことやるよ。カルタは所詮趣味だ。
太一カルタやんないの？せっかく同じ高校になったのに。
中学でもメインはサッカー部だったし、いつまでもカルタじゃねえだろ。
I think that is Mamoru Miyano.
誰をかも知る人にせむ。これって昔の友達はもういないって歌だっけ？
Hmm.
続けてたらまた会える。絶対会えるよ。
Oh, it was sure is cute. He sort of like promises a childhood that easy to say in the moment but hard to keep.
待って。3年前、東京。まだ情熱を知らなかった私。ねえねえ、お姉ちゃんの美少女コンテストどうだった？それがさ、最終選考には残ったんだけど。でも明日の新聞にお姉ちゃんの写真が載るんだ。本当？すごい。私絶対見る。
千早の姉ちゃん綺麗だもんな。
太一もそう思う？
わあ、千早と違ってな。
I wonder if she grew out her hair to look like her sister.
お前運動神経だけは俺と張るよな。
身長もね。
なんだよ、やんのか千早。
おお。
Anata?
あ、ごめん。
あの転校生全然喋んねえな。
そうなの？
友達もいないみてえだし。
つうか、あいつと関わんない方がいいぜ。
I thought he had bandages around his arms then, but no, it's just his
何それ？
shirt, thankfully.
靴下穴開いてるし。
うちのクラスにいらねえよな。
And she's the type to not get put off by these rumors, it feels like.
食い弁メモ取ってて。でも最近話してくんないんだよね。増えないの。ケチくない？
でさ、この間
私が綿谷くんだったら笑うためにメモ取ってる人と話したくないけどな。私たち別にそんなつもりじゃ。ねえ。あ、そうなの？ごめん。いいのいいの。そう？
The soundtrack's really nice. I've looked at some of the staff members that are working on it after this.
ねえ君、順路表を忘れてるよ。俺がないと。
覚えました。
覚えたって今日が初めてなのに。ちょっと200件もあるんだよ。間違えないで
Part-time
よ。
job.
二丁目国藤原とその向かい5件、大沢、藤宮、山本、内山さん配送弟子、横田工房、101-103、
She's got one hell of a memory.
203-204。次、綾瀬。
Putting his skills from character to good use.
おはよう。
ありがとう。
Hmm.
お姉ちゃん乗ってるよ。起きて。
Oh yeah.
見て、写真も。ほらここ。どうせ仙外よ。なんで？最終の15人に残っただけでもすごいよ。私この写真もらってもいい？好きにすれば。 でも確かにこのグランプリの子の方がスタイルはいいよね。
あんた思ったことすぐ口に出しすぎ。
ちーちゃん新聞見たよ。お姉ちゃんすごいね。そうなの、すごいの。
わあすげえな、本当に乗ってる。
お姉さん綺麗。すごい。
っていうか姉妹なのに千早はまだ男って感じだよな。
おはよう。はい着席。みんな百人種シール溜まってきた？100種覚えたらテスト受けに来てね。覚えた人は来月のカルタ大会出てもらうからね。
It's interesting in the class.
千早どんくらい覚えた？
まだ半分くらいかな。はいはい、勉強じゃ叶いませんよ。
真島くんもう完璧なんでしょ。
早い。何でもできるよね。
はい静かに。実は真島くんだけじゃなくってこのクラスにはもう一人100種覚えた人がいます。それは綿谷くんです。昨日の放課後綿谷くんがテストを受けに来てくれて100種一気に暗唱したのよ。拍手。
一気にって本当？
来月のカルタ大会出てくれるよね。
I wonder if Chihaya would be interested in that and take interest in him because of that.
おはよう。
新聞配達。思い出した。綿谷くん今朝新聞配達してたでしょ。すごいね。新聞配達だって小学生はバイトしちゃいけないんだよ。
綿谷くん本当？
時々頼まれた時だけです。
貧乏なのかな。
つうかあいつ毎日同じズボンじゃね、
ねえ太一、すごいよね綿谷くん。新聞配達だよ。
はい静かに。みんなも
Yeah,
100
Chihaya's
種覚えるのよ。
doesn't really fit in with everyone else, but not in a kind of abrasive bad way. It doesn't cause her to get isolated. It feels like it just she seems to be
綿谷
a little bit more mature than everyone else.
くん。じゃあね真島くん。
ああ
私
悪いごめんな一丁らを。
太一。
明日の服なくなっちゃった。母ちゃんにスカートでも借りて。
あんたがこんなひどいことするとは思わなかったよ。
つうかお前なんでこいつの肩ばっか持つんだよ。ちょいも明日からハブにされるかもしんねえぞ。
He doesn't care about
いい
that.
よ。
俺だってやるぞ。本当だぞ。
だからいいって。
後で泣いても知らねえかんな。覚えてろよ。
It's very mean of him, but it's hard to be too mad at him. He's just a kid, you know, and jealous.
わあ、ボロいね。ごめん。私って思ったことズケズケ言いすぎて、今朝もそれでお姉ちゃんに蹴られて。
A bit Kumiko-esque, maybe K.
喋っていいよ。私メモとか取んないから。
Oh.
寒いね。
なんで朝新聞待ってたんや。
喋った。お姉ちゃんがミスコン出てて、その記事が早く見たくてさ。ほらこれ、この後ろのがお姉ちゃん。
すごいの。
綺麗でしょ。すごいでしょ。お姉ちゃんがいつか日本一になるのが私の夢なんだ。
そんなのは夢とは言わんよ。
Oh, he's got an accent.
自分のことでないと夢にしたらあかん。乗っかったらダメや。お姉ちゃんかわいそうやが。
何よ。じゃあ綿谷君には何か夢あんの？自分の夢。 百人一首じゃん。
綾瀬さんできるんか？
できるっていうか、うちの学校毎年カルタ大会やってるし、ほら今日も先生が言ってたじゃん。
やろさ。
ちょっといいけど読む人いないじゃん。
テープがある、テープが。
何？なんでそんなやる気？どうだっけ。25枚を3段に並べて、上の句が読まれたら下の句だけが書かれた札を取る。
Okay.
私まだ50個くらいしか覚えてないけど、まあただのカルタだし。
He's locked in.
何その目。
もう始めようか。
うん。
やばい。また刺さってもうた。
何それ。カルタってこんなんだっけ。早い早い早い。悔しい悔しいよ。
You want to get better,
1枚
don't
くらい
you?
取りたい。
Yeah.
あの札の上の句知ってる。背を早み岩にせかれる滝川のだ。せめてあれだけでも、
It's focusing on
あ
one,
れ
yeah.
1枚だけでも取りたい。
The moment she hears it. Straight. Nice.
ありがとうございました。
なんなのあんた、鬼強じゃん。
でも綾瀬さん1枚取ったが。
だったの1枚だけだよ。
でも楽しかった。福井では結構みんなカルタやってて、でも東京じゃそう
Oh,
いう
she's
わ
from
けにいな
Fukui.
くて、
Don't know what that is.
いつも一人でやってたし。
一人でテープ聞いて。
カルタは外国ではまだあんまやられてへんくて、まあ難しいでの。でもそれはつまり日本で一番になったら世界で一番って
I
こと
knew
や
you'd say that. That's cool.
世界で一番。
カルタで名人になるのが俺の夢や。
名人、夢。
千早っていい名前やの。ほら綾瀬さんの札や。これは上の句がちはやふるで始まる札や。ちはやで取れる札やからもうちはやに見える。俺の目はそうなってるんや。
ただいま。あら、まああなたお友達か？いや、ガールフレンド。
母さん
Girlfriend.
レンタちゃん、お芋食べるか？
いえ。ちはやふる、神代も聞かず竜田川。あいつ早かったな。夢か。からくれないに 水くぐるとは初めて新とカルタをしたあの日、私が知ったのはカルタじゃなくて新の情熱だったんだ。
Nice.
行くあてない街、一人先を歩く、夕日に照らされた失いそうな心、変わってゆくなんて思いもしなかった。君と重ねた夢、いつの間に違う方へと歩いてたんだね。そして今二人は
I wonder when Taichi gets involved.
見つめて、そして今ほら響くよ、君が教えてくれた歌、この空に。
Anything at the end? Doesn't look like it now. That was a nice episode. That was a very pleasant starting episode. It gave us, introduced us to the three main characters very nicely. It kind of gave us, it was easy to understand that whole deal pretty like straight away. Chihaya, who on the outside, I mean, she's the sister of a model, it seems. So people are always going to have this automatic impression of her and someone to compare her to straight away. And we see that in this first frame of her here, is that she's automatically seen as his beauty. And that's not just because of her actual appearance, it's because obviously her sister as well. And then she kind of just dismantles that immediately when she's wearing gym pants and quite abrasively getting up on the chair and putting up the pins in her mouth. It's very unladylike. The opening was nice. The song was quite pleasant. I think I'm definitely going to add it to my playlist if it's on Spotify, hopefully. Yeah, she doesn't really fit in with any. It's not in a way that will cause her to be bullied or anything like that. She's good at understanding people, but often not the social cues involved. What would be the normal thing to do in these situations is to go along with bullying Arata. That would be going with the flow of what is happening. But she seems to be a little bit more mature in that aspect, when it comes to understanding other people. And it kind of showed at the end when she was after playing Kurata of Arata, she was like, I didn't just learn about the game, I learned about his passion. That was the emphasis, it was his passion that really interested her above anything else. Which is interesting. And yeah, she seems to be very obviously crazed about character at this stage in her life. And Taichi goes to the same school as her. I think it's already setting up some romantic stuff here between them. Obviously childhood friends, so there's always that there's going to be that gap there for probably on Chihaya's side towards him being like, oh, I viewed you just like the childhood friend. It's not gonna immediately be viewed in a romantic way. Because it's interesting here when she finds out that he has a girlfriend. She's not disappointed because Taichi's been stolen from me, or she doesn't want to see him get a girlfriend or anything like that. It's more, what did she say exactly?
カルタより大事なものって新たにも
好きじゃないんだけど。
もしかして新たにもカルタより大事なものできたのかな。
Yeah, that's the way she immediately viewed it
なんだ
was,
それ。
oh, he's got something more important than character. And he's like, what? He's like, well, I think one, he's disappointed that she's not upset that it's more a romantic distress, more the fact that she's so honed in and focused on character that the idea of someone else doing something else other than that she's been close to, that has been doing that before, is like, whoa, like, that is a bit disappointing. That's a bit strange for her. And then there's Taichi just kind of knocking off the idea of character. We don't know how invested he has been in this up until this point compared to obviously Chihaya and Arata, but he seems like the character that more goes with the social flow more than anything. He has a girlfriend that is, it's seemingly probably for show a bit. He seems pretty popular, his kind of demeanour, his looks as well. Obviously, we see that in both, like now and in when he was in elementary school, he was kind of a standout in the class, and so a hobby like character probably isn't that popular, or it's certainly not something that popular kids would do. So we kind of discard it like, oh, it's just a hobby, it's not something we can pursue in that sort of way. I'm just trying to have fun in the soccer club. And then we transition really nicely into the flashback from the train passing. And the rest of the episode is the flashback, which is really interesting, but it works really well. We get to understand a bit about Taichi and Chihaya's familiarity and their sort of dynamic. They have good banter with each other. And then Chihaya, again, having a better understanding of people and just having a bit more empathy at her age. And the way she kind of bluntly kind of calls them out, and then when they kind of respond in a very wishy-washy way, like, oh no, we weren't doing it for that reason. She was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry then. Like, she's very blunt and honest, and like socially, she doesn't pick up on these cues, it seems, as much as other people would. That's why they sort of were like wishy-washy about it and then walked away. But she was like very blunt and honest. She was like, oh, I guess I misinterpreted that then. I'm sorry, even though she did interpret it right for sure. Like, that's interesting. Him, obviously in elementary school. I mean, what age is this? It must be like, I don't know, like 9, 10, 11, maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what age they are, but he's young. Like, to do this kind of job at this age, yeah, it's a bit crazy. And his home life didn't seem as bad as I thought it would be. Obviously, they have a small place that's a little bit run down, but it's just him and his mum, I guess. Like, I suppose if the father isn't in his life, then there could be financial issues there. And I wonder if his mum knows that he does this as well. But it sets up his character nicely as well with memorising stuff. You immediately know, so this is something he's probably applied from character, or applies to character, this strong memory he has. And it's cool seeing him blush straight away when he kind of bumps into Chihaya here, and he knows this is Chihaya's house as well. It seems her comments about him in the classroom originally, when she was kind of defending him, he noticed that didn't go past him there. And with this sister dynamic, I'm immediately reminded of Kumiko and Mamiko in Hibike Euphonium. The sort of sister who is aiming for greater heights, who is then ends up not reaching them, and the little sister who follows along and doesn't really respect her sort of like dreams and her aspirations beyond what her sister's doing. I feel like there's definitely could be some parallels between their relationships there, which would be cool. Yeah, and just like basically this like standing up and being like, oh, you deliver papers, and like she doesn't even clock that that would be a thing at this age, that wouldn't be normal. And they're like, she doesn't think of the wider implications of it either, of him maybe needing money for whatever reason, doing something that you shouldn't be doing. That doesn't even cross her mind. She just sees that and she's like, oh, that's really cool. It's very innocent. It's cool how Chihaya has this innocence, but at the same time she is very mature in how she approaches people and understands people. I mean, she's going to be a character I really end up liking. I know when she learns about that, she realizes, and then she takes an interest in him. And obviously Taichi doesn't like that. It's clearly probably likes her or has liked her from a young age as well. Not able to sort of make that final step from a childhood friend to a romantic interest. Probably worried about breaking their own relationship and shattering their own relationship. Sort of a Saiki Sayaka and Nanami Toko thing going on. From Blooming to You, that is. And then we get to learn a bit about the card game. We get to kind of learn along with Chihaya, who already does understand it to a degree, but she kind of goes through it in her head again, because obviously she's not too familiar with it, and she's just kind of remembering it. So laying out 25 cards in 3 rows, and it seems I assume in like tournaments it'd be someone actually speaking it, and you have to just finish the poem. Which is interesting if that is just it for the game. If it is just a kind of a memory thing, I wonder if there is much more to it, or if at this kind of age it's kind of dumbed down a little and there isn't as much complexity to it, or maybe I'm just missing the complexity to it and I'm simplifying it a bit too much. But I'm interested to learn more about the game. Obviously this kind of thing, having a game that's very native to Japanese, in a sort of drama high school show, reminds me instantly of March Comes in Like a Lion. Incredible show, one of my favourites I've ever seen. Season 2 is like just a masterpiece, like from top to bottom. It's just perfect as a show. And that show does enough to let you know what's going on with the game, but it's a lot more complex. I forgot what it's called now. Is it Shoji? I think maybe I forgot what it's called. But that game seems a lot more complex, and they don't kind of dumb you down in learning the game. You're able to understand somewhat what they're doing when they're in the matches, because it's portrayed in a way that you're able to get a feel for each character's thinking, and you're able to kind of imply and fill in the gaps to understand where each character is at in the game in terms of facing each other and whether they're winning or losing, kind of thing. But yeah, this is a really great first episode. I really enjoyed it. The soundtrack was really nice as well. That was something I noticed immediately. Lots of nice piano tracks, quite soft, and some like nice fast piano tracks that reminded me a bit of some stuff from Revue Starlight. I wonder how often we'll be going into. I wonder if that is maybe a sensei or a father who passed away. Not too sure, but I wonder how often we'll be going into these flashbacks as opposed to the present time at this point in the series. I think it's quite a bold move to have pretty much 2/3 of your episodes be entirely in a flashback, but it's really compelling. It works. It sets up the dynamic between both Taichi and Taichi and Chihaya in modern times, and Chihaya and Arata in the past, and I wonder the fact that they set up Taichi and Chihaya in a dynamic in present time and Alata and Chihaya in the past is kind of symbolic of where they're at in their life and possibly the direction they're going to go in the future. My immediate thought in terms of a romantic pursuit, because I know there's a love triangle in this, I'm certain that there is a winner. Don't know who it is, obviously, but I'm unsure as of right now who would be the winner in that regard, because there's definitely merits to the two of them, but if it was following tropes, the childhood friend would probably lose, Taichi, and Aruto would win. But I'm not sure if I fully get the impression that Chihaya is into Aruto in a romantic way. It doesn't really feel like that. She seems to have a very genuine interest in his passion above anything else at this point in time, but obviously this is like their first meeting. It's hard to tell. I don't want to make assumptions right now. But yeah, really good first episode. I think we just go straight on to the second one in this video, and we'll upload 2 in the first video. So yeah. Okay, episode 2 time. I got like the official subs, the yellow ones that I used last episode, and I've also got fan subs that I'm gonna try this episode just to see if I prefer one or the other. Not too sure which one's best. If there is, please do let me know in the comments whether the official subs or fan subs are probably better. But yeah, episode 2, let's go.
立ち別れ稲葉の山の峰におうるダメだ下の句なんだっけ松としきかば今帰り込むかあ
千早っていい名前やのほら綾瀬さんの札やこれは上の句がちはやふるで始まる札やちはやで取れる札やからもうちはやに見える
The subs being on the cards probably leans me towards this one more.
あれあ
千早も明日からハブにされるかもしんねえぞ
いいよ
俺だってやるぞ本当だぞ
だからいいって
I wonder how much it will actually bother her.
あのよそもんと話すのやめんならハブ解除してやってもいいけど
私はいいから綿谷くん解除してよ
なんであんなやつの肩持つんだよ
太一こそなんでこんなことすんのよ
だってあんな趣味で貧乏で田舎者のいいとこなんて一つもない
あるよあるよいいとこ綿谷くんカルタだったらここの誰にも負けないよね
一枚も取らせんよ
Hell yeah! She's enamored by that. Like, wow.
言ったなじゃあ今度のカルタ大会で勝負だ1枚でも取られたらお前卒業までハブだからな
Oh,
とんでも
interesting.
ない賭けなのに気持ちよかった
Yeah.
これだったら誰にも負けないなんてそんなの私持ってないよ
Such burning autumn red.
昨夜この花冬ごもり今を春べと
ねえねえなんでみんな取らないのかしら
今のはジョカですよ
ジョカ
最初に百人一首とは関係ない歌を読んで
Interesting.
次からが試合開始だってプリントにへえし
足引きの山鳥のしだりおの
あった
Taiji's mom.
勝てる勝てるいけいけ
長々しよう一人
それでは1回 戦2組目を開始します。選手は畳の上に上が
さすがだ
ってください。
な太一余裕だっつうな。次も楽勝だな。
本当だよ。
1 hour to. So is he gonna like impress everyone? Or people not gonna notice?
あいつこれで1回戦負けだったら超かっこ悪いな。
見てればわかるよ。
ゆらのと
Very cool. He's like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it like that here, because he's how violent you're allowed to be with this.
おい見たか綿谷の試合。
あすげえな。
太一のやつ大丈夫かな。
平気だって。あいつ何でもできるじゃん。
Can do anything.
それに勝たないとお母さん超厳しいからな。
Oh, okay.
とにかく何でも勝てないと怒られんだよね。
まさか1枚も取らずに負けるわけにいかないっしょ。
Oh god.
やっぱりすごいよ綿谷くん。このままパーフェクトで優勝だね。
でもこないだは綾瀬さんに1枚取られたが、
あれはまぐれだよ。
違うよ。綾瀬さんは多分カルタのやり方が直感的に分かったんや。
カルタのやり方？
おごってやるよ。ありがたく飲め。
太一？
なんだよ、毒なんか入ってねえぞ。
いや、
Has it been
あり
shaken
がと
up?
の。
Yep.
ちょっと太一、何すんのよ。
自分でやったんだろ。
He's such a little devil.
たく、何考えてんだろ太一のやつ。
I wonder how severe Taichi's
私ハンカチとか持ってないよ。
will get.
この辺で拭いていいよ。
いや、いいよ。
Because especially if he's having a bad home life, if his mum kind of under pressure of Kurata, then
いや、いいから。
it can escalate pretty badly.
せやからいい。
It's usually where most bullying stems from.
こっちは？
綾瀬さんの服が濡れてまうから。
大丈夫大丈夫。その辺ビューって走ってたら乾いちゃうもん。
Oh no.
あれ、おかしいな。
どうした
And
の？
he can't play with his glasses.
俺のメガネ。
あ
And he'll probably still somehow win.
れ？太一！綿谷君のメガネ知らない？
知らねえよ。
あ、そっか。
綾瀬さん、メガネ隠したのやっぱり真島やと思う。
太一は心は狭いけど、そんなひどいやつじゃないよ。それ私じゃないし。
That upset Taichi. Chihaya kind of having a better impression of
見つけてくるから待ってて。
him than he actually is. I think he kind of regrets it, maybe.
そこまで寄らなくても見えるだろ。負けた時の言い訳か。言っとくけど、1枚でも取られたらお前の負けだからな。何言わずに昨夜こ
The opening poem
の冬ごもり
brings a bit of tension to it. It's nice to start with that instead. The OC is very with your Starlight. It feels.
山
He's actually goated, man.
こいつ見えないんじゃなかったのかよ。 見せればや
まさか
He must have looked at memorized the positions of the cards.
覚えてるのか。
Yeah.
最初に置いた札の位置を。
わびぬれば
Moved on.
音に
Is that wrong?
綿谷君それは違う札よ、
掛け字や袖の濡れ
入った
もこそ
いいぞ大地こっからやってんな。
札がいつの間にか動いてる。
Man, he's playing dirty.
忘れじの
どこや。
行く末までは片手であった
マシマがまた取った。
傘さぎも渡せる
よっしゃ取った。いいぞマシマ。
よそ者に負けるな
Man, this sucks to watch.
威張んなよ
私綿谷君の代わりに出てもいいですか。
Go on, Chihaya.
綿谷君の代わりに出ます。
何言ってるの。綾瀬さんダメですよいきなり。
だって先生綿谷君メガネなくなっちゃって、それから私綿谷君の一番弟子なんです。
メガネは確かにそうだけど。
俺は構わねえよ。絶対千早のが弱えし。
ありがとう。でもちいちゃん、あ行とな行しか覚えてないんじゃ。大丈夫かな。綿谷君の代わりに絶対勝つ。違う、代わりじゃない。私が太一に勝つんだ。
何しよう
知ってる。
なんだお前
本当は両手使っちゃダメなのよ。
あれこれどうなってたっけ。
しょうがねえな。
確か綿谷君とやってた時の私は上の句の最初の文字だけ聞いて飛び出す準備してたんだ。つまり上の句の何文字かだけを思い出して準備。歌の意味とかどうでもいい。覚えてない札は。
Yeah, that's a very Chihaya way, it feels.
太一が取ろうとしたあたりを5、6枚まとめてぶっ飛ばーす。
ずりーよ千早。
いいんだよね先生。
ルール的にはありです。
Oh, really?
競技戦の外に当たり札が出れば。
That's pretty funny.
なんだあの子のカルタ。
That kind of like brute force style is interesting.
下中我が衣手に。
負けない。太一の動きに集中。取った。
なんでそんなに必死になるんだよ。あいつのためかよ。
Surprisingly, no. But that's obviously what he's going to assume.
やった。
どうしたんだよ太一。負けんじゃねえぞ。
しっかりしろよ。
His mum's expression is already.
集中しろ。
ギリギリ夏の夜は
ちいちゃん取った。
あと1枚。あと1枚。
あと1枚。あれ嘘。残り全部知らない札じゃん。どうしよう。
She's going to smack all four of them. On the left.
俺の目はそうなってるんや。千早っていい名前や
Oh,
な。
it's this one, is it?
これが
Chihayafuru. Nice.
これがカルタの目だ。やった。
6年生の部は1組綾瀬千早さんの勝利。
くっそ、なんだよ。カルタなんか強くなくたって。
太一との勝負すっごい面白かった。カルタって楽しいね。でも綿谷くんが相手じゃこうはいかなかったよ。あれは名人になるやつだから。
じゃあ綾瀬さんはクイーンやの。
クイーン？
女の中で
Hmm.
一番強い人のことや。
I love how just
クイーン。
unabashful
日本で
Chihaya
一
is
番
like
は世界で一番。
queen of the
綾瀬さんは
world.
カルタの才能あると思うわ。
もしもしお母さん、私カルタの大会でね。
それどころじゃないの。今うちにお姉ちゃんのスカウトの人が来てるのよ。
え、本当？
Ah,
この間の美少女コンテストのおかげね。早く帰ってらっしゃい。今日はごちそうよ。みんなでお姉ちゃんのお祝いしましょう。
私も今日カルタの。お母さん早くしてよ。
fuck man.
お姉ちゃんすごいね。私も今日ねカルタの
She's
大
gonna
会で
ignore
ね。
him as well.
カルタ地味。
っていうかダサ切るわよ。
女の子に負けるなんて。
And that's something that would
せ
get
っ
to
かく
her.
ビデオに撮ったのにお父さんに見せられないわよ。ごめんなさい。 カルタなんてできたって仕方ないんだから。負けるくらいならもう大会なんか出ちゃダメよ。大地は勉強もスポーツもできるんだから、勝てるものだけ勝負しなさい。
Already highlighting the problems, the family problems for Taichi and Chihaya. And we somewhat had it with Avatar in the first episode.
な
Kind
んだよ。俺に勝っといてしけたつらしてんじゃねえ
of
よ。
implied some
して
stuff,
ないよ。
but these were pretty like concrete confirmations of
何の音？
え？
聞こえるじゃん。バンって。あ、また。
音？あ、聞こえる。
ほらね。
お前どんだけ耳いいんだよ。
どうせならもっとわかりやすい才能欲しかったな。太一みたいに勉強もスポーツもできるとか。
まあな、生まれつきできちゃうんだな、俺は。
百人一首の単語帳を作って努力してたの知ってるけど。
言うなよ。かっこ悪いじゃん。しかもお前に負けて。
正々堂々とやって負けてかっこ悪いことあるかって私は思う。カルタなんかじゃ誰も褒めてくれないけどさ。
Is it Avatar trying to find his way? Oh wow. Chihaya is just going to be enamored by this, like completely infatuated by his dedication.
メガネがなくても
Yeah.
札がなくても見えてるんだ。あそこに。
That's cool.
何やってんだよ一人で。そんなにカルタしたいのかよ。
Yeah.
私もう一回メガネ探してくる。
おい、ちゃ
この辺カラス多いからメガネがキラキラしてて持ってっちゃったのかもしれない。裏山見てくる。綾瀬さん。
Just so honest and yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
綾瀬さん、もういいで。もういいで。
見つけなきゃ見つけなきゃ綿谷君のメガネ。綿谷君に思いっきりカルタさせてあげたい。
綾瀬さん。 これ廊下で拾って。
He regrets that.
いや取ったんだ俺が。
And he's being honest about it. That's good. Chihaya, what are you doing, man?
千早には言わないで。
Yeah, he feels really bad about that.
千早には嫌われたくない。マシマ、おめえ卑怯なやつやの。
The card, that's funny.
ほんでもちょっとわかるわ。
ここにもない。第一カラスの巣ってどこにあんの？メガネ見つかったで。どこだ？綾瀬さん。
I mean, is it the first name he notices? Yeah.
千早。
She's such a lovable idiot.
私この時なんとなく気づいてた。一生ものの宝物が何個も見つかる冬になるって。
Wow, the episode went by fast. Yeah, that was a great really good episode. It kind of established Taichi's side a bit more now, and I feel like we now have a really good, well-rounded understanding of our main three characters in just 2 episodes. It's quite astounding how it's able to give us all this information about these 3 characters in such a short amount of time. This whole just in 2 episodes, it could just it's possible we don't even need to come back to this flashback at this point in time anyway. We've got so much out of it in such a short amount of time. It's really quite impressive, the storytelling and the writing here. It is reminiscent of like Hibike and Fukatsu no Lion in terms of how efficient it is and how much it's able to tell in small interactions and small expressions and lines. The game's interesting because it really doesn't seem that complex at all, especially if you're allowed to do what Chihaya does, and just if she knows the card is in that area, she can just swipe the entire area away. I wonder if that is something that is maybe looked down upon in the game, or whether it's something you are not allowed to do in the adult game, or kind of have more of a respect and dignified method of finding the cards and swiping them away. I do wonder how the game's going to evolve and how it's going to keep me hooked on the game as well, because I feel like with Shoji and March comes in like a lion, it feels like, excuse me, it feels like that was very complex, but for this it feels like the complexity with the game is to do with the poems themselves and the lines themselves, rather than the actual gameplay. But yeah, this is great seeing Aota just show everyone up so easily. And Taichi's just having to do whatever he can to win, and partly because he wants to impress Chihaya, partly because he wants to impress his mum, partly because he doesn't want Aota to win. He wants to prove that he's better than him. Taichi seems like a really complex character, with lots of emotions going on in there that aren't always on display to the other characters in the show. There's some good comedy in this episode as well, which is nice to know that it can tread there too. That was cool as well, him, like, he got really close to it and memorised the positions of each card. And I feel like there's definitely something to say about all three of their styles here that are already emerging at this point in the series. We have Chihaya, who brute forces it a bit abrasively, a bit not sure what the word would be, but it is it's not a very attractive or flattering style, very similar to her own nature and her own way she interacts with other people. We have Arata, who has clearly a strong talent for memorising the poems themselves and the lines themselves and the meanings of them. He seems to have a bit of a deeper understanding of the game and of the poems than all the other two characters that are playing. It reminds me a bit of Rei from Rigatsu no Line in terms of how earnest that approach is to the game. Then we have Taichi, who has a sort of it feels like it's more effort and a raw factor to his play style and his way of learning. Obviously with the flashcards, as Chihaya mentioned, it feels very grounded. He's not that talented at it. He doesn't have a kind of a deep appreciation for it, or he's not trying to bypass his own style like Chihaya might by kind of brute forcing and not focusing on certain cards. He has a very rounded way of playing, and I feel like it's quite representative of how he feels about getting good at the game. Because it represents how his reasons for getting good at the game, in terms of it's more to impress other people than for himself. But yeah, it's very interesting. I wonder how we're going to see that in present time, whether any of their playstyles have changed or evolved in any way from now till then. Yeah, I don't care what the poem means. I wonder. It's going to be really interesting to see, like I said, how their perspective of Kurata and their own playstyles has changed over time, or if it even has at all, and if that's something we're going to see in the 70 odd episodes, whether we're going to see a clear evolution of their playstyles or their understanding of the game or their appreciation of the game beyond just kind of winning and losing. I want to get to the last bit with each of the families, because they were really effective scenes. Yeah, this one was rough because you kind of knew the moment Chihaya was on the phone to the mum, be like, "Oh, let's do this," like, "Oh, I'm so excited about this," and then the mum instantly just kind of brushes her off. And it doesn't seem to be a malicious thing from her mum. That's just how it seems to be for her, which is sad. She doesn't have any malicious intent with Chihaya. It doesn't seem like she's raised Chihaya in a way that has been abusive or hurtful, but it's stuff like this that gets to her and will chip away at her. And then that's also reinforced by the sister, who's like, Karuta? That's lame, like. And she just, only briefly we see her just kind of ball up. It's the first time we've seen such vulnerability from Chihaya, such a she literally becoming smaller herself. So that seems that's gonna be a weakness. It seems her sister, her family. It's interesting though. Back in present time in the first episode, she is still enamored by Karuta, and that seems to be her main focus, despite what she's been receiving from her family regarding it. And then we get on the other side Taichi, who is literally opposite in that the mum has such high expectations of him, and this reminds me of Your Lie in April with the sick mum, and I forgot his name. I can't remember his name. Obviously the main guy, the main boy with the glasses. I can't show this to your father now. It seems, yeah, there's familial expectations being heaped on his shoulders. It's interesting though, you're a good student and a good athlete, so only do things where you know you can win. It's not about learning and making mistakes and overcoming hardships. It's just about just do what you're good at and thrive at it. She kind of does have this businesswoman-like nature and attire to her as well. She seems to maybe have just done what she's good at and climbed her ranks in that way, and maybe taken advantage of other people to get to where she is, similar to what Taichi was doing with Arata in with the glasses and moving the cards. And that kind of perspective and ideology seems to be ingrained. He's trying to ingrain that in Taichi now as well. And like he's like fuck, like, to me, I'm getting the impression that he's more he's well rounded at everything. He's good at a lot of things, but not great at a particular one. And whether that's sports or character or social stuff or just like anything like that, it seems he's that kind of guy that appears to be good at everything and to impress everyone, but he doesn't have a particular passion for a certain thing that is able to drive him and able to motivate him for when he's at a further point in his life, when he has to kind of pursue these kind of things and when it becomes more meaningful. We see it in the first episode when he's not he's just a bit wishy-washy about character and just kind of, it's just a hobby. And yeah, I'm just gonna do the soccer club because that's what I did before, and everyone, like, that's like the popular thing to do. Like, it's just, he hasn't got that goal or passion, and I feel like his character journey is going to be finding that and doing what he wants and finally becoming true to himself above anything else. But yeah, and then we finally get the three of them kind of together. We start to see their friendship or their dynamic blossom a bit as a trio. Yeah, I just love how honest Chihayafuru is and how blunt she can be. It's needed for someone like Taichi, even Arata. Yeah, and I said that he did regret taking the glasses, and it's shown in this scene at the end when he gives them back, and he's like, don't tell. He's less concerned about Arata himself and more about Chihaya finding out, because if she does, she will be so upset, and I wonder if at any point she will find out, whether it's Arata telling him because of some drama or anything like that. But the drama between these three are going to be really good. It's going to be really rich and really exciting to see. Yeah, I really enjoyed these first two episodes. They gave us so much in such a short amount of time that it was a really compelling watch. You could tell how well written and done the story is. And it's just the beginning as well. I do wonder what direction we're going to go with this. I can only assume we'll end up entering some competitive national tournaments and the highs and lows of these sort of games and these sort of sports. I suppose you can call this a sports series in a weird way. So yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come. This trio seem really cool, have a great dynamic. and as characters, they're so interesting already. There's so much room for them to develop and learn and get emotional and have our drama and conflict between each other. This is all just stuff that we know from the past as well. We've got barely anything from the present time. It's really exciting to know that. I assume now we'll be hopping back into present time in the third episode. It's going to be interesting to see how different or similar they might be to them as when they were kids. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Starting a new series. Obviously, if you're new to the channel watching this and you're still listening to me yap, I appreciate that. I do yap a lot, and I can just kind of go on and drivel on, but I appreciate you being here. Please do comment your thoughts on the series, your thoughts on my reaction, maybe some things I missed or some gaps you can fill for me in certain things, maybe things that the manga leaves out that that anime leaves out from the manga that is worth me knowing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.